So if you're checking this video, you may be considering going with a prepaid cell phone carrier. You may have seen some ads on TV advertising prepaid plans such as Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile, Cricket. I even saw a T-Mobile prepaid advertisement the other day. So you may have thought, well, that isn't really for me. I don't really know anybody with a prepaid cell phone plan, and it looks too good to be true. I mean, the cost is way less and no contract. Who would ever do that? Why would I ever switch? So I remember my first experience with prepaid cell phones. I worked at Office Max about 10 years ago, and we sold these things called the track phone. Usually what would happen with the track phone is a senior citizen would come in and say, I've seen these things, they're so cheap, and the only phone calls I make is to call my granddaughter and my sister in Arkansas. And it was like $10 a month, super basic, super cheap, and that was about all I knew about prepaid plans. Now at the time I was going through a big name service provider just like everybody else, and I had great service and didn't have any problems with them. But the thing that I kept noticing was it seemed like every month my bill would sneak up just a little bit more, and then the next month just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And pretty soon that $40 that you signed up for every month looks more like $100 sometimes. Also, you may have noticed a lot of little nickel and dime fees on your bill. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. And a lot of friends that I talked to today that I asked how much their cell phone bill is, most of them don't want to tell me because they're paying well over $100 for their plan. So back in 2008, I decided that I was going to make a change. My contract ran out with my cell phone provider, and I decided that I wanted to look around because I wasn't crazy about my bill going up every month, and I wanted to see what alternatives were out there. Also, keep in mind, in 2008, cell phones and smartphones were not near the level that they're at today, so I just wanted something really basic, just call and text. So I looked around and I found this company called Virgin Mobile. Now, you may have heard of like Virgin Records and Richard Branson, and it's actually the same company, same logo and everything, but what does that have to do with cell phones? So anyway, I checked them out, and it seemed too good to be true because it was a $25 a month plan, and you got something like 300 minutes and unlimited texting. And at the time, for me, that was great. I was a poor college kid, and I thought, sign me up. Is there a catch or something? And the other part was no contract. And everybody knows that once you sign a contract for 2 years, you're in, unless you want to pay a nice fee, which is anywhere from $150 to $325, depending on your cell phone carrier. So I tried them out, and at first I tried using the top-up cards. But what you do with those is you just buy your minutes every month. So you just go to, Target or Walmart, wherever, and you just buy your minutes. And it seems like a smart idea because you're like, oh, well, I'll just buy this many minutes for the month, and then that's all I'll use, and then I'll just wait. Not realistic at all. What I did was I switched just to the monthly prepaid plan. They just take it right out of your checking account, and then you don't have to worry about it. And that was perfect for me at the time, and I was saving a ton of money. I just had a cheap, basic phone, and that's all I really wanted and needed at the time. So I did that for a few years, and then, as we all know, smartphones blew up. They were everywhere. They started adding things like GPS navigation, really good cameras that you could take high quality pictures and video with, and they weren't just phones for talking and texting anymore. They were something completely different. You can use them for so many things now. You didn't have to carry around a camera and a calculator and a GPS unit and an iPod, because you could do it all on your smartphone. So I upgraded to an LG Optimus V, which was a decent smartphone at the time. So I had that phone for a couple years and it worked great. And then just last year I bought this phone. It's a Samsung Galaxy S2, and it's been great. It's the exact same phone that would come on any other carrier. So right now I want to destroy the myth that prepaid cell phones do not have good phones or smartphones. They actually have really good phones. You can go to Virgin Mobile's website right now. You can buy an iPhone 5. You can buy a Galaxy S3. And I also just saw a phone on there called the Supreme, which says it has a 13 megapixel camera on it. I don't know about you, but I remember not too long ago when it was impressive to have a 7 megapixel camera. Not a phone, but an actual camera. So that looks pretty cool. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is prepaid phones don't just have phones that look like they're a decade old. They actually have new smartphones that actually work great. Now here's the next question I know you're going to ask. How's the service? Am I going to get any bars? Am I going to get the same coverage? And to answer that question, it depends. I live in a metro area, so there's towers all over the place, so it's worked great for me. If you live on a farm in a rural area, you might want to check a coverage map, because I'm sure you've already figured out that they don't always make towers that go out that far. Find the phone company that you want to go for and see if they cover your area. Like I said, I've had Virgin Mobile since 2008, and I can remember maybe 2 or 3 dropped calls. I really haven't had any problems with it. And advertising that you have a low rate of dropped calls, to me, is kind of a joke anyway.
But my cell phone carrier has the lowest rate of dropped calls out of any cell phone provider.
It seems like a big cell phone carrier who advertises low dropped call rates thinks that this is what happens when you have a dropped call. Yeah, so I was at Taco Bell the other day, and this girl comes up to me, and she... Hello? Billy? Billy? Are you there? Billy? Billy! A dropped call? We'll never speak again! No! Yes, I was at Taco Bell, and this girl comes up. Hello? Look, I'll call him back. Hey, looks like we had a drop call. So anyway, I was thinking about buying these skinny jeans. The next perk of no contract phones is you don't have to sign a contract. If you don't like the service, you can cancel it at any time and switch to somebody else if you want to with no penalties. Good luck canceling on a phone company that you signed a 2-year agreement with without paying a hefty fee. The next perk of prepaid phones is long-term cost. Now if you signed a 2-year contract with the phone company, I'm guessing your bill is around $100 or maybe even more. I'm going to go with $100 as a conservative estimate. Now I'm signed up right now on the $35 a month plan with Virgin Mobile, which gives me 300 minutes and unlimited everything else. Now with tax and all the fees, this is straight from my bank account. I'm going to show you how much my phone bill was last month. So it was $38.52. Let's round that up to $40 a month just for easy math. So if you pay $100 a month for your phone bill, that's assuming you got your phone for free when you signed up for a contract, you pay $2,400. Now even though I had to pay $200 to get this phone, I pay $40 a month, which after 2 years equals $1,160. That's well over $1,000 I just saved. Now at the beginning of the video I told you I've been with Virgin Mobile since 2008, so that means I've been with them for 7 years. Let's do some math over that period of time. If you've been paying $100 a month for your cell phone provider for 7 years, that's 84 months. 84 times 100 is $8,400. And that's assuming that you got your phones for free when you signed up for a contract. I hope you did. Now I told you at the beginning of the video that when I first signed up for Virgin Mobile, I'd only been paying $25 a month for my monthly plan, and just recently moved up to $35, which we figured out after charges was $38, which I rounded up to $40. Let's just pretend I've been paying $40 a month this whole time. So 40 times 84 months is $3,360. Now like I said, I upgraded phones a few times, so that was probably about an average of $200 a phone. So even if you factor that in, if I upgraded phones 3 times, add that extra $600, we're at $3,960. And like I said, that's a very liberal estimate. I didn't pay that much. And I gave you a conservative $100 a month estimate for your plan, which we figured out you paid $8,400 for in the last 7 years. $8,400 minus $3,960 equals $4,440 that I just saved. For a guy in his 20s getting through college, that's a car. And guess what? Now if I wanted to, I could afford to go back to a big name provider, but I don't want to. To me, it's not even close, the amount you save versus the amount of product that you get by using prepaid. Think about it, I could do all the same things that you can do on your phone on this phone, and I pay a whole lot less. I've heard some people making the argument that, well, my internet is way faster on my phone than yours is. And you know what, you might be right. If you have a big name cell phone provider, your internet probably is faster than mine. But lucky for me, there's Wi-Fi everywhere. Think about it, go to McDonald's, go to the mall, go to Barnes & Noble, go to Caribou. Mooch off your neighbor. And when there isn't Wi-Fi, I still get internet. I just don't get it as fast as you. But in a way, I actually kind of look at that as a good thing, because I'm on my cell phone too much anyways, as people in general are, and I think it's actually kind of becoming a problem in society, with people being addicted to their phones. And if my Facebook page doesn't load in 1 second, well, too bad for me. So the choice is yours, but from somebody who's used a prepaid service for the last 7 years and has saved a ton of money using it, it's at least worth considering when your contract runs out. There's a whole lot more companies that offer it than I mentioned in this video, but I can only speak from my experience with Virgin Mobile. Now, who are prepaid phones not for? Well, like I said earlier, if you live out in a rural area, you probably won't get as good coverage, so make sure to check a coverage map. Also, I've noticed that prepaid phone companies don't often offer family plans or group discounts. So if you've got a family of 7 and they all need cell phones, you're probably going to have to go with somebody else. I'm Luke D, helping you become a person that others love to be around. If you liked my video today, please subscribe to my page. I make new videos every week. And usually what would happen is a senior citizen would come in and see how cheap it was and say, hey,
I want to talk on the phone. I want to talk on the phone right meow. Get it?